What's up? What's up? What's poppin'? Hey yo, it's NateDoggSac916 coming at you live from Sacramento. Hey, you know what it is, man. Hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell. And make sure you hit all so you can get all the notifications of everything I post, man. First of all, if you're new to this, man, welcome to the kennel, man. Welcome to the kennel. And it's CHA Kennel, the kennel. Uh, My name is Nate Dogg. If you're new to the channel, man, go down below and, man, check out some of them older videos, man. You get a little bit of knowledge about who I am and what I'm about, man. Um, Today, I want to share with you guys a war story, a personal battle story. A story of something that I had to go through while incarcerated in California Department of Corrections. So, I'm in Corcoran SHU, 2000 flat. I had been sentenced to 15-month SHU, and I'm doing my SHU term. Um, and it started out with I'm in the SHU. Uh, they put me in a cell with a young man, and I've told this part of the story before, but I'm gonna tell you guys basically the full SHU story of when I did time in the SHU, or my first SHU term. Um, I was in the SHU, first of all, for battery on an inmate with a weapon, causing great bodily injury, basically a booking with a weapon. Um, I was in High Desert when I caught that SHU, and High Desert State Prison in Susanville, California. I was in High Desert when I caught that SHU, and they ended up shipping me out to Corcoran. So I'm in 4A1 left at the time. Yeah, 4A1 left first. And I'm in the cell with a young man from Oakland. And I'm not going to say his name because that don't matter. But I went out for a haircut. And I went out for a haircut. And when they take you out for a haircut, they got this thing, it's a cage. They put you in that cage. Then they lock you in. Then they uncuff you. Um, and then they put the clippers through the bars, and then you do your haircut thing, basically just a bald head, because there's no real mirrors except for cloudy mirror on the wall, so nothing that'll really work for you anyway, right? So it's the best bet is for you to just go bald. And due to the fact that you can't have any kind of sharpest utensils in your cell, you have to go down for haircuts if you want a haircut. So I finished my haircut, and I go forward now the guard's little office is right across from where this cage is. So if you are on the main line on the same kind of building design, you would be in where the counselor's office is. And right across is obviously the officers that monitor the unit. So I go back to put my my clippers down, and I noticed that the gate is not secure, right? And there's a Mexican pig named Gomez. Um, he's the one who runs the unit. So I look and I'm like, oh, y'all trying to set a motherfucker up, huh? He like, what? And I come to the thing. He come to the thing. He's like, cuff up. I'm like, yeah, I cuff up. I cuff up, right? Because I'm not gonna cap like I'm on some takeoff on the police stuff or nothing like that, right? I wasn't. You know what I mean? If they put their hands on me inappropriately, then we was just gonna do what we do. But my aim wasn't get every police every time I could. That wasn't my get down. However, I did know an individual that was like that from East Coast. So I cuff up and I'm like irritated. I'm like, man, y'all think y'all slick, man. Y'all trying to catch a cat time. Y'all trying to get what y'all was gonna bring some cats out here, what? And he's like, yeah, just shut up. Shut up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you guys is tough. You guys is tough. If y'all just want it, y'all should just do it. Um, so he put me back in my cell. He said, you gonna learn about that mouth, man. I'm like, yeah, all right, okay. So he put me in my cell. I watch him go out and I see he looking up at the tower cop while he's walking out of the section, right? Watching him, I'm like, damn, what's going on with this dude, right? Like, okay, so I tell my celly, hey, I don't know what this dude up to, but he kind of hot, bruh. So I don't know what's going on. But I'm already on some let's keep our shoes on at all times stuff, right? So I get back in my cell. I mean, I'm in my cell, I'm watching, and I see that the tower cop goes away from the podium, and I'm watching him. And then I see all of a sudden, I see like three more people up there, right? All officers, of course, right? Watching, like, oh, they trying to set me up. What they doing up there? You know, because anytime you see movement in a SHU unit, they're about to do something. Who knows what, a raid or whatever. They're going to do something. It's going to be some kind of movement, and you want to see who's moving and who's not. You know what I mean? You want to see if they bringing people out, they said what they bringing you out for at an unscheduled time. So, you know, you want to look at that, you know, mentally take notes, or, you know, take notes of who left the unit, where they was going, all that, right? So I'm watching, see like 4 people up there, which is unusual. The most you ever see in the tower is 2 cops. And that's usually during shift change in the SHU, right? Unless it's an incident or something. You might get an extra gunner run up there, right? But in the SHU, it's usually when you see 2, it's usually because it's a shift change. So I'm watching, and all of a sudden, my dough crack, right? I see him come to my podium, and I see him looking up at the bed cards. There's a board with bed cards up above his head, right? So he could look up and see the bed cards for each cell that's controlled on the podium, right? So I see him looking up at the bed cards. I'm like, okay, all right. I tell my celly, hey man, I think they tripping, bruh. He like, yeah, but I don't see him pick up the mini, right? I'm watching, I'm looking. I don't see no mini. I don't see no black gun. I don't see no gun strapped on his shoulder. He usually walks around, you know. Usually when he's got movement, he got a mini or a black gun strapped on his chest just in case, right? So all of a sudden my door cracks. Now understand that when you're in the SHU, segregated housing unit, your door is never supposed to open, never supposed to open without you being in handcuffs. You know what I mean? That's their rules. That's their security procedures, whatever. Because we're supposed to be the worst of the worst, violent criminals from regular mainline society, right? In general, back then, at least. Um, so my door racks, right? My door opens. So I've already got my shoes on. You know, I haven't even washed up from washing from cutting my hair. So I'm looking, and I step out. Well, I look out first, and when I look out, I see a young individual, a younger individual from another race, pop his head out, and it's a Southern Mexican, right? And I look, and I see him look, and he see me, and he pop back in real quick. So my thing is, he's going in to get something, right? So I pop out, right? So I pop out, and I say, hey, bro, they don't pop the doors with the Mexicans, man. So understand something in a little more backstory. Anytime you're in the SHU, and it's basically a green light with everybody. It's a green light with everybody. Because if your dough popped and it's another race, it's basically green light, man. It's not no, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing. If it's another race in the dough's rack, it's green light. You know, it's funk season. So I pop out, right? And I start to head down that way, you know. And when I pop out, I see the 2 Mexicans come out to cell, right? They come out to cell, and they start coming towards me, right? And one of them is, you know, jerking, like grabbing at his waistband of his boxers, because, you know, most of the time when you're in the SHU, you're only wearing your t-shirt and your boxers. You know, you're not really putting a jumpsuit on every time, just hanging out in your cell. You only put the jumpsuit out when you go out to medical or something like that, or a visit. Usually, even if when you go to the yard or whatever, you just go in your boxers and your shoes and your t-shirt, right? So they pop out, and one of them's playing with the waistband of his boxers. So I'm like, okay. And I'm not focusing on my celly. I'm like, okay, hopefully he can get one, I get the other one. So it's 2 on 2. It's a fair one, right? So, you know, I run down there. I run up on the first one. And, you know, no cap, he was smaller than me. He was like half my size. I was like, at the time, I was like 200 pounds. I'm 6'3". You know, I'm burpee body, you know, karate body. Like, it's like solid, like penitentiary concrete. You know what I mean? And So I run up, I do my stuff. We doing my stuff. He dropped. Boop, boop. I see the other dude coming around, right? So I spin, and he like nervous, right? He keep reaching for. He's still reaching for his waistband. I'm like, come on, man, let's go. Man, I mean, I'm sure I'm talking more reckless than that, right? But then he come, and he never pull out a thing. I don't know why. Um, Maybe he was trying to bluff me with that. I don't know. But he finally come in, and his boy is still trying to shake off the dizziness or whatever. So we poop, 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 and he back up. He keep backing up, and then the officers in the tower, they come with the get on the ground, go back in your cell. No, not get on the ground, go back in your cell, go back in your cell. So I back up, and I'm watching them, I'm still watching them, and I'm going to go back in my cell, and they say, not you, Jackson, get on the ground. Get on the ground. You two, go back in your cell. So they get up and they go back in their cell, right? So the guards come. Then you see a couple guards, the section door. They come running in there. They're like, get on the ground. Stay on the ground. I'm on the ground already. So they cuff me up, and they take me into the cage out there, right? And I'm sitting in the cage, not the barber cage, the regular cage, right? I'm sitting in the cage, and I'm like, man, that's some whole shit y'all just try to do, man. That's crazy. Y'all try to set me up because y'all did something wrong. That don't make no sense to me, right? Whatever, right? So I told that to tell what happened next, right? For my SHU term, right? So then they bring my cellie by, right? They go in the section, they go to my cell, and I see they bring my cellie bag by with his stuff in a bag, right? I'm like, hey, bro, where you going? Where you going? Oh, no, they moving me. Hey, y'all ain't got to move him, man. Y'all ain't got to move him because my cellie didn't come out. He didn't come out when it was popped, right? So, anybody who knows anything about politics and prison politics and the rules, I got green light to get on him now. I can get on him without no repercussions from my people. So my mindset was, I need to get back in the cell with him now because you basically left me for dead, and I need that. So they move him, and then they put me in the cell with another individual, right? Named Red. Let's just say Red. I'm not gonna say his whole name or where he's from, but he was from the down south, Los Angeles area, right? So they put me in the cell with this guy. I go in the cell with him, and I'm like, "What's up?" Nate Dogg, all the stuff. Introduce myself, show my lockup order. You know what I mean? All that. He like, okay, you was in high desert, all the shit, whatever. All the regular check-in stuff. So we program it for a couple of weeks. Well, not even a couple of weeks, maybe like a week. We doing our stuff. I'm getting up every morning, at unlock, rolling my mat up, working out, bird bath, and then I study. And I do all this from 5 in the morning, approximately 5 in the morning till about, to be honest, till noon when I believe it was Days of Our Lives came on. The soap opera, because I used to watch that soap opera regularly. So that's the program. I watch Days of Our Lives. Then I probably get into another bust down session, afternoon bust down session, and then study more. Right, just go back to the books. Right, then later at the night, like maybe 6, 7, 5, maybe about 5, the news time. Programs start to shut down. I bird bath again, clean up the cell, make something to eat for dinner, take the dinner tray, throw with some soups, whatever, make a dinner food, right? So we sitting there, and Brett don't like working out. He don't want to work out. So I'm already on some standoffish stuff, right? Like, why you don't want to work out? We soldiers. You a blood, I'm a blood. We supposed to be working out in here. But that goes to say, everybody not built the same, right? Everybody don't think the same. Everybody wasn't taught the same, right? So I was taught how to do it militantly. I was taught how to do it do your time like a soldier. Do your time disciplined and regimented like a soldier. So when it does pop off, it's nothing normal. Or if it does pop off, it's nothing that's not normal. I'm sorry. So you're not shocked and awed and out of breath and tired and not thinking. You learn how to deal with things politically instead of freezing up like frozen goods. So one day he asked me, like maybe 4 or 5 days in, he like, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, you've been in a cell with me for 4 or 5 days. You see my program, right? He don't got a TV. I got a TV, right? So he asked me, hey, can I watch the TV? And I'm like, nah, and but you got to understand, I don't have a lot of money at this time, right? I'm in a SHU. I can't bring in any kind of funds or nothing. All I can depend on is money from my family, or my girl, or whatever, who I was dealing with at the time. I don't even remember who it was. Um, so I'm like, nah, bro, my TV don't come on till noon, right? It's program time, man. We supposed to be programming, not watching TV. So, I'm trying to, at the same time, I'm trying to lace him up. He a little bit younger. I'm trying to lace him up like, nah, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be studying and working out, not watching the boob tube, you know what I mean? Or like some people try to call the idiot box, right? So he like, oh yeah, okay. I don't be on all that exercise stuff though, bro. I'm more like on my legal page. Okay, well, study illegal work, man. Study illegal work. Study case law. Do something like that then. But the TV don't come on till noon, bro. You can watch it after noon. I ain't tripping. After my show over, you can watch whatever you want until program time starts again. He's like, oh, okay. But I could tell he had a little attitude about it. But I mean, I didn't care. This is my property, right? So the day goes on, right? And I could tell that the mood in the room is different, right? But I ain't really tripping, because my thing is, I'm not thinking there's going to be no red on red issues. I mean, it's usually not like that. But it happens. So I go to bed that night, and I'm just laying on my bunk, I'm asleep, and like I think that there's an 11 o'clock count, there's a 9 o'clock count. That's when they lock the bar lock. The bar lock is what secures all the doors. 9 o'clock count, they lock the bar lock, and they come every 2 hours. So 11, then what? 12, 1, then 3, then 5. They unlock it, right? So I see us. I'm asleep at the 9 o'clock one. At 9 o'clock when I go to sleep, right? 11 o'clock when I hear my, now the beds are side by side, right? I'm on the left side by where the TV's at, and he's on the other side, which is would line up with the front, with the door to the cell. So I'm sitting there, I'm laying there on my bed, I'm asleep, and I hear, because I'm a light sleeper, I hear him slide his feet into his shower shoes, right? I'm like, probably going to the bathroom, right? So I'm preparing my brain subconsciously. These are things you do when you live in a prison cell. I'm preparing my brain subconsciously to not let the noise from the toilet bother me, right? Because he's gonna flush the toilet in a second here, right? That's what I'm telling myself, right? So I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I don't hear the toilet flush, right? So I'm laying like this on my bunk in the back with my head like this, and I can see it out of this eye. I can see him, right? And the door is honeycomb. So basically, the door is not a solid door. It's like just a whole bunch of holes. Surprisingly, I never counted the holes in the door, or I wish I could tell you how many holes are in the door, but it's just a whole bunch of little holes, like a honeycomb. But there's light on the outside, so you can see in, right? I see him standing at the door looking down. This is before the 11 o'clock count, right? I'm like, damn, well, he's looking down the tier, right? Nobody's awake. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what are you doing, right? I don't ask him what are you doing. I'm thinking, what is he doing, right? So I'm like, I'm sitting there chilling. Then I see him look, and then I hear keys. And I'm like, okay, that's the guard coming. Okay, the guard coming finna walk by. So the guard walked by, he get back on his bunk real quick. When the guard walked by and lay down, so I'm like, why do you want the guard to think you asleep? Because there's no problem with being up out of your bunk. There's no issue with that. You can do whatever you want in yourself. You want to be standing up at 3 o'clock in the morning, they don't give a crap as long as you're in there, right? So he get back in his bunk. That hit a red alarm for me, a red flag. Like, wait, why is he doing that? So I'm like, okay, he waiting for something, right? So my antenna go up, right? I wake all the way up now. I don't get up, but I wake all the way up, right? I still got my arm over my head though. Laying back, and then I see him after the guard goes by, he gets back up out of his bunk, right? But he don't slide into his shower shoes this time, right? Like, So I'm watching him, and I'm seeing him look the other way now to where the guard is, like he's watching the guard. And then I hear the section door close again because the guard comes in through the section door. He goes back out through the section door. You hear it close. Zzz, loud little clap, right? So now he's standing at the door and I'm watching his body language. I can see him, right? And I can see like his chest rising and falling. Like I can basically see his body like he's pumping himself up, right? And then I see him look back towards my bunk, right? And I'm still watching him. I'm still watching him. And before I knew it, he just came lunging towards me, right? Like he was trying to rush me in my sleep, but he didn't realize I was awake. So I just immediately, like I seen him coming, I'm like this. And I just immediately, as soon as I see him get distance enough, I just kick my foot out, right? And I kick my foot out. And like I said, he's a little smaller than me and he don't work out. You know what I mean? So he's a little lighter, you know, not built for this type of shit. So I boot him and it catches him off guard. So it throws him off his balance. He falls down. But when I boot, I'm up all in one motion. You know what I mean? So I kick him back. He loses balance. He fall down, right? But before he can even react, I was on him, right? And I'm just punching. But now he's up against that honeycomb door and it's making noise. Bam, 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 right? So my neighbor gets up and he bangs on it. He comes to the hole and hey, Nate, because it's another Damu. He know me. He like, Nate, dog, what's up, bro? I'm like, fuck. And you know, I'm using profanity. I'm screw this dude. I don't give a crap. I'll kill this dude in here. How dare you? Because the worst thing to me you can do is try to snake me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you want to fight. You want to fight, we can fight. And that's going to be that. You know what I mean? But for you to snake me, now I'm going to treat you like an enemy, right? So he's down on the ground. I'm kicking his head into the door, right? And this is the second time in prison that I was in a cell with somebody and I was trying to kick their head through the door, right? So after he was like, all right. So then I back up off him, right? I back up off him and I back up to the middle in between the two bunks. And I'm like, nigga, you better stay on that door, nigga. You better stay on that door, nigga. Nigga, we can get it again. Let's go. How dare you, man? I snatched the sheet off the light because we had a sheet on the light because the light never goes off all the way. It goes from bright to dim at after 9 o'clock, right? So he's standing on the door. Then he like, no, man, I got to get up out of here. Well, get up out of here then. Get up out of here then. And I'm saying it a lot more aggressive, but I'm like, if you come off that door though, you gonna get up out of here in a stretcher though. You know what I mean? So, he ain't talking tough no more. He's just like, I got to get out of here, right? So basically at the same time, he started talking to the neighbor and I'm like, hey man, y'all can't be talking on the tier at this time of night, man. Y'all gonna that's a violation, man. Y'all can't do that, man. Like, man, I gotta get out of here, man. I was like, man, do whatever you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. Make him come get you. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking he gonna come, we'll try to rumble again. They gonna hear the fighting, all the tumbling, and they gonna come. This dude kicks the door. He kicks the door. Now, I don't know, anybody who's been in prison knows what that sounds like in the day room when somebody's kicking a door. It sounds like thunder, right? So he kicks the door and he kicks the door hard. Boom, he turns around. He's facing me and he's like mule kicking the door. Boom, 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 boom. Then the officer comes to the door. And when the officer comes to the door or to the tower thing, what are you guys doing? He yells, hey man down. Let that sink in for a second. You yell man down. Man down means some kind of an emergency, basically. You need the police to get in there immediately, right? So he like, what? He hits the button. Bah! Guards come running in. They run up there. What's going on? I gotta get up out of here. Guards, like I said, the same cop. Gomez was just starting his shift. He's like, Jackson, what the heck do you do? I was like, I ain't do nothing, man. Man, whatever. He talking to you, not me. I'm sitting in the back of the cell. He like, well, cuff up. Yeah, I ain't cuffing up. We're gonna spray you. Spray away. I'm not cuffing up. Period. You know what I mean? You better stay in the back of the door room. You better stay in the back of the cell. And he went to the other dude. Cuff up, man. Turn around, cuff up. He turned around. He cuffed up. I'm looking at him like, in my head, I'm thinking, your name bad, bro. I'm finna let everybody know about this, right? Like, so they take him out. Yeah. And then that's when they put me in the cell. After that, they come in, it's like, you gotta move. Like that day, you gotta move again, right? And this when they moved me to 484 left. That's when I moved into to the cell with the homie Lil Papa CK from VNG. You got a lot of knowledge from that guy. But yeah, that just shows you that, man, you never know who you can trust. So the best rule, especially if you're incarcerated, man, is don't trust nobody, man, because you never know who might try to snake you in your sleep. Thanks for watching, man.